Hi everybody, Russ Lewis. Welcome to everybody watching on our digital platforms this afternoon. It's 2:15. It's time for your digital update. Special day, we're out in front of our KHOU building today here on Westheimer for a very special reason too. We'll show you that here after we get done with our news in a couple of minutes, but you're going to want to stick around, especially if you like cars. That's all I'm going to tell you right now. Some very expensive ones I'm looking at right here. We'll tell you why in just a minute. First, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on today. If you haven't had a chance to watch the Mueller hearings on Capitol Hill, we understand. That's what we're here for. We're monitoring that for you back in our newsroom. Started about 7:15 this morning at 7:30 local time, so it's been going for several hours with a lunch break. I've been listening or watching most of it. We'll have an update for you on the 411 today at 4 o'clock. I can tell you that it's been a lot of one-word answers. Robert Mueller promised going into this that he was not going to deviate from his almost 500-page report on the investigation into Russian interference in the presidential election a couple of years ago. And he's pretty much held true to that. Again, a lot of one-word answers or a lot of I'll refer to my report, I'll defer to my report, read the report, look at this page. He's not saying much, to be honest, and people on both sides of the aisle, House members, have been trying to get him to offer more details or opinions or what might happen in the future with these allegations, and he has not taken the bait for the most part, so I can tell you that. He did answer one question from a House member and did agree that President Trump could be charged with a crime once he leaves office, but that again is no revelation. Any president can be charged with a crime if they, are accused of committing one once they leave office. It's the Department of Justice opinion that a sitting president cannot be indicted. That's what impeachment's for, and that's what the Mueller report concluded for the most part with these allegations, or that they were unfounded, depending on which allegation we're talking about. So we've been watching that today, and we'll continue to do that. And on the 411, we'll have a full wrap for you. Marcelino Benito's been watching that as well for us, and he'll join us at 4 o'clock. Also, the other story you're clicking on a lot on our website that we want to update you on is this pit bull attack that happened on Sunday. We're seeing some surveillance video of at least the aftermath of that. Here's what happened. It was a 6-year-old boy playing with some friends in his driveway when a pit bull came along, unleashed and started attacking him. So a 19-year-old guy, a neighbor, hears the boy's screams, runs to help. He's yelling at the dog. The dog leaves the boy alone and starts attacking the 19-year-old neighbor and chases him down and knocks him to the ground. He's able to get away, and thankfully he gave his 6-year-old neighbor enough time to get away and get into his mother's arms and get away from that dog. So the boy does have a head wound that required a couple of staples. He'll be okay. That 19-year-old neighbor, Grant Brown, he suffered a cut to his hand. We can tell you the pit bull has been surrendered to Montgomery County Animal Control. Don't know a lot about the owners of that dog. I don't know if it was a stray or somebody's dog that got loose onto the street, but we are looking into that today, and we'll try to have an update for you coming up again on the 411 at 4 o'clock. All right, let's get to the fun stuff now. And the reason we're outside today, it's beautiful weather, by the way. Best night, David Paul says, of the summer is probably going to happen tonight. We're down into the high 60s. It's going to be magnificent. So that's his quick weather update, and he'll have a full report for us later today. But we're also out here because of this. A couple of McLaren automobiles. They are gorgeous. Look at this one. It's kind of a, I don't know, what is it, lime green? I don't know what.
That's called lime green.
Lime green, all right. Sean Seaman is here with us. He is with McLaren Houston. Thanks for bringing these down. And by the way, this is the cheap one, if you can call it that. How much is this McLaren Spider?
This particular one's about 300,000.
300,000.
Start around 260.
Okay. And again, this is the inexpensive one. We'll get to the real expensive one here in a minute. Tell me about this vehicle. First of all, obviously mid-engine. What's in there?
So it's a twin turbocharged V8 with 600 horsepower, top mounted exhaust, so it shoots flames out of the back at night when you're downshifting hard. This is the lighter, meaner version of another car we have called the 570. So
what's top speed on this?
211 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in about 2.9 seconds.
2.9 seconds. That's great for merging onto the Katy freeway, right?
It helps your commute time dramatically because you weave it out of traffic.
Yeah, you just have to avoid other cars and police officers, I think, if you're in this. But I want to take a look inside here because I haven't looked inside yet. What can you tell me about the interior of this car?
So everything about this car is designed to make the car lighter. So they've stripped out the interior. It's all Alcantara to save weight versus leather. Special carbon fiber seats that are actually from the car we're going to see next is called the Senna. So they're hollow core seats to save another 15 kilograms of weight over a normal seat, even a carbon fiber seat. So again, it's just bringing the weight down to make the car lighter and handle better.
Yeah, McLaren, the founder, he kind of pioneered carbon fiber in vehicles, didn't he? Or he certainly perfected it.
The very first F1 car to use a carbon fiber tub was actually by McLaren. Everybody else thought they were crazy. Why would you ever use anything other than metal? But they made a car that was much stronger, lighter, and stiffer than anything else on there. And now everybody's using it because all of our cars carry on that tradition of using a full carbon fiber tub. We don't use aluminum in the tubs. It's all carbon fiber.
Do you run into people who have the impression or the thinking that carbon fiber may be lighter, but it's not as strong?
You do, but most people now are starting to get the gist that carbon fiber is stronger than steel even. It's the hardest thing you can get, but also, the chassis in this car weighs about 250 kilograms. So two people can pick up the whole car if it didn't have all the other stuff bolted to it.
That's amazing. Strong but light, so it goes faster. I gotta hop in. I love the gull wing doors, man. That just screams sports car. You almost have to have it in a car this expensive, I think. Now, getting in, it was a trick. That hurt a little bit, actually.
You got to commit.
Yeah, you got.
And you can use the door handle here to help lower yourself in.
Okay, nice. Well, you definitely fit in this thing like a race car. I mean, it's awesome. You got to come over closer here, though, so we can. You can tell me more about this. So, boy, is this a race car seat? It feels like it.
This is an optional seat for people that are going to do track days. A lot of our clients do take the cars not only for driving around town, but also the COTA, Circuit of the Americas, MSR Houston to do track days. And these seats are designed to use a 6-point harness to hold you into in the seat in those days.
Okay, we have to move on to the next one now. We're going to go right in front of us here. I love this. I can't believe this is the inexpensive version.
It's a very fun car, though.
Yeah.
You go right here.
And will I pull this? So
Just gotta pull that.
yeah. Okay, gotcha. All right. I'm going to try to shut this here. Just set it like that, and just. Boy, that is really light. How do you open it?
So there's a little switch underneath here.
Okay.
Just push there and it'll pop up.
I just wanted. I mean, look at this. With one finger, you can. That's how light that is. That's amazing.
And all of our cars feature the dihedral doors, so they all do that. Some of the brands have the cool doors, but only on their most expensive cars. Mm-hmm. All of ours have cool doors.
I'm hoping we can fire up the next one just to hear how it sounds once we get done talking about it. All right, let's move along here. So this is the Senna.
This is the Senna, named after Ayrton Senna, one of our most famous race car drivers in F1, most famous drivers. 3-time world championship for F1. This car embodies his driving ethos about making an extreme car. It's designed for the track. It doesn't even have a trunk. They threw an extra radiator that helped with cooling, right? It's really meant for the track. We had 2 of our owners take delivery of their Sennas at COTA. First time ever driving the car was on a track, so it's really more of a track-focused car.
So this is not really meant to be on the freeway. I mean, it's so expensive you probably wouldn't want to anyway, but it's street legal?
It's street legal, and it meets DOT, EPA, all those things, but it really is a track-focused car. It's the most extreme car you can make, but still road legal.
Okay, I know people, they're watching this, they're going, all right, Russ, how much? How much? What is if I could buy one of these right now, I'm not even sure if one's available, but if I could, what would McLaren Houston sell it to me for?
New, they're around $1 million to $1.2 million. Right now, since they're all sold out, there'd be about $2 million the market value on one of these.
$2 million.
Yep.
I have to sit in a $2 million car. There's no chance I'm going to sit in the driver's seat, but I'm going to sit in the passenger seat of this thing. Can we open the door?
Yeah, one other thing kind of neat on this car is the rear wing is kind of one of the features that kind of stands out on this car. That's actually active. So while you're driving, it'll move up and down and increase downforce, lower drag, or if you slam on the brakes when you're doing 100 miles an hour, it pops up and acts as an air brake to help you stop even faster.
So it's obviously connected to, it knows what the motor's doing.
Yeah, it knows what the motor's doing, the brakes, how fast you're going, how hard you're turning. It takes all that into consideration, constantly moves while you're driving.
How much more powerful is the motor in this than what we just saw in the Spider?
About 200 horsepower more. So this has got just under 800 horsepower.
800 horses?
Yep, for your daily commute.
Again, there's no way you're putting this thing on the freeway at $1 million, $2 million. What is the top speed on this one?
This one will do about 211 as well. It's got a lot more downforce on it, so although its top speed is a little bit lower, it's got a lot more grip. So you can take corners a lot faster.
Right. So you're right, on the track. This is meant to take a track, hit a nice time on the track.
Yeah, not necessarily about full top speed.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's amazing because I'm thinking about, I watch some NASCAR on the weekends. I mean, NASCAR, you know, those stock cars are about 200, a little more than 200 miles an hour. Could this at least be respectable on one of those tracks with one of those cars?
It depends on the race car. Sometimes, since those are so far from a road car, you know, they
Yeah.
have racing slicks. If you were to change the tires on the car and drop some of their
Yeah.
weight, you probably would be.
Well, they're going in circles too, but on a road track, maybe it could, right?
Yeah, and this will actually outperform some actual race cars as well. So right now we have a client, he's doing sub 220 around COTA, which is a race car speed.
Boy, well, let's open this up and see what it looks like inside. Okay,
Very similar seats.
I'm gonna commit again, but I'm gonna switch mic hands here so I can hold on. Hold on. Where's the?
Let me hold on to the mic.
No, that's all right. Here's the handle. All right. Oh, okay. Okay, this seat feels tighter. A little smaller. A little smaller.
Nope, just you're getting used to it. It's the same seat.
Is it really? Is it really? So these. Okay.
Yep, so that one has the optional Senna seats in it.
Okay.
They make a normal, what they call a comfort seat, which is leather, power heated for the 600 LTs. This one, you can only get these seats in it. And this one's got the 5-point harness built in already, so you can belt in and not move when you're going on the track. All the controls and everything on those are all kind of aimed towards the driver. They're all designed to be just for the driver.
Now this is. I'm looking here. I mean, you're able to shift. Is it a paddle shifter?
Yeah, so if you look behind the steering wheel, it's got carbon fiber paddles there that control the gear. It's got a 7-speed dual clutch transmission. The longest part of the shift is you thinking about pulling back on the paddle. It's milliseconds between shifts.
Who buys one of these?
So you know, a lot of athletes that you think of, movie stars, people that you see in the news, but most of our clientele is small business owners, developers, doctors, lawyers, some people in the tech industry. And a lot of our clients, their daily drivers an F-150 or a normal car, and then they got this in the garage. So,
Yeah, this is not your daily driver.
no.
But that's funny. They're driving a pickup truck 6 days a week, and this is the Sunday cruiser.
Yep, exactly. So, and everything in the car is all carbon fiber. Even the door, are all carbon fiber, just to bring the weight down as low as they can.
When you own a car this expensive, do you have to do special things to it? I'm talking about, I mean, I know people have had Ferraris and Lamborghinis and stuff, and I know that you're servicing them more often. You're doing more to them to keep them in tip-top shape.
No, with most of our cars, they're due for service once a year, every 10,000 miles, and on average, it's about $2,000 a year for service. Usually, the most expensive part of owning it is the tires, because as the fun factor goes up, the tire life goes down. So
Because they're softer, right?
yeah, and they're softer, and also you put a lot more heat the faster you go, so they just kind of fall apart as you go around tracks and stuff like that. So that's usually the most expensive cost of ownership on the car.
It's a lot less than I thought, though. And maybe you guys are proud of that. That doesn't sound like, if you have $1 million or $2 million car, spending a couple grand a year to keep it in top shape is not that much money.
It's not much different than a Mercedes AMG or other high performance luxury car. So the service is actually very low on these cars. There's no crazy, engine out for an oil change like some people think you have to do with an exotic car. These are very reliable. We've got customers that drive 10, 15, 20,000 miles a year with them.
Yeah, because some cars you do have to change a belt. Some exotic cars you have to pull the whole motor out, right?
Yeah, and we don't have any of that. So
Where are these made?
they're made in Woking, which is about an hour outside of London. So they're all made in the UK. Bruce McLaren, our founder, is actually New Zealand, which is why you'll see Kiwis on a lot of the marketing. And he was a New Zealander, but the company started in the UK.
I'm guessing these are pretty rare, the Sennas?
There's 500 in the world. So there's probably about 6 here in the Houston area, and probably less than 30 in all of Texas.
So if you see one of these driving around, it's a big deal because there's only 6 on the road.
Yep, the very, very rare car to see out and about. So
Can we fire this up just to hear what it sounds like?
Definitely.
Okay. Have to do that, right? Can't do this whole thing and not hear the motor, not hear what 800 horses sound like. I'm going to get back here, assuming it's safe. Take a listen.
one of the neat thing on this, because it is a track-focused car, is you have the normal display when you're driving, but to increase your visibility on the track, you can lower where now it just gives you your RPM readout and your miles per hour.
Because that's all you need.
That's all you would need. So this really is a track-focused driver's car.
Flip that again. That was cool.
And then all the controls like start, stop, which you wouldn't need. All the door handles are all located up here. Again, getting all the stuff that it would be noise in the cockpit of the car out of the way.
All right. Well, come on out, Sean. I want to real quick tell folks why you brought these down on a trailer, by the way. They did not drive these down here to Westheimer and Chimney Rock. They unloaded them off a trailer a little while ago. So I know you guys are promoting something. Tell us about that.
Yep. The McLarens are focused a lot on the new Hobbs and Shaw movie, so we're doing some promotions with that. We're going to have a new premiere going out soon at the end of the month, so we're doing actually a giveaway on our Instagram page as well. So if anybody wants to follow that, they can win some tickets for the premiere.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're giving away McLaren.
No, not McLaren this time, but we'll give away some tickets to see the premiere of the new movie featuring the 720 Spider. So it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, very nice. Well, we appreciate you bringing these down. It's not every day you get to, sit in a $2 million automobile, if you could find one. 500 in the world. This is the McLaren Senna. And then back here, the lime green is the Spider.
600 LT Spider.
600 LT, much more affordable, $300,000. I think either would look good on Houston streets, assuming you avoid the potholes. That's always a tough thing to do.
Yeah, the roads here can be a little rough in some areas.
Yeah. I'd pick my road very carefully if I was driving one of these. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice of you to come down. Thanks to Shermin Chow. Did she leave already? She's over there. Let's say hi to Shermin. Shermin kind of set this whole thing up, and then she put me on it. She goes, "You're a car guy, Russ, so I know you like these things." So she let me do this, and I appreciate that because I love sports cars. A lot of fun to talk about them. So appreciate you tuning in. Shermin will be back with me on the 411 at 4 o'clock, along with David Paul on the TV side. We hope you'll join us then. Until then, have a good afternoon, everybody.